Daith da, Ewi Nakan. Welcome to podcast number 101. Weemon. 'Tis been a manic week this week, I tell you. Although having said that, we didn't have any funerals Wednesday, which was good to have a day catching up on paperwork. But since I spoke to you last, I forgot actually to put a photo on our Facebook page. I'll try and do that. We had the split screen camper van hearse, which we love, absolutely love that one. And then Monday we did have a funeral in the Shire House Suite in Bodmin. Never had a funeral in there before, but it did work quite well. And of course you got the car park right next door to it, and that worked good. And then we shot over to St Mirren, and sadly St Mirren is having a real tough time at the minute with people passing away. While I was in Bodmin, I did see a sign on the toilet wall, and I did actually put this on the Facebook page actually, because the sign said hand dryer only, which made me think, well, what other bits are men drying with the dryer? But I'd never seen that sign in a toilets before. So there we are. And going on from that, toilets again, I have got me words of the week, which I'll talk about directly, which is, it was inspired by the toilets at Llanova, but we'll talk about that directly. Now, one of our funerals yesterday was of dear Betty Chandler. And listeners of the podcast, I look back to his podcast number 78 and 79, and that was when I popped out to St Mirren to see Jerry and his wife Betty, and we had a lovely yarn there, and that's only a few months ago, but sadly Betty passed away, and we had her funeral yesterday, absolutely packed. I don't think we could have got any more in. Lovely service. We had the ringers, ringers and singers, I think they called themselves, singing Cornish songs during the service. It was a lovely tribute to her. And then I whipped up to Indelian for dear Keith's funeral. Keith, he's another chap I've known for decades. Lovely man. Again, another churchful. We seem to be having more religious funerals lately, and well-attended funerals too, I must admit. And then sadly, that theme did continue today for Stephen's funeral up St Kew. Now, I first met Steve, I would say we was late teens, and we did hang round. We was in a gang that we used to hang round together for a little bit. And of course, then I knowed him then when he married into Tom and Sandra's family. So, known a long time. Lovely attendance there. The one thing that I thought was brilliant, which I can't remember, I don't think we've ever had before, we had the hymn, We Plough the Fields and Scatter, but the words was changed a little bit. A lot of them are similar, but like there was a little bit different. Like the first verse, it said, we plough the fields with tractors, with drills we sow the land, which I thought was brilliant. And then the second verse as well, I thought was good, where it says, with many new machines now, we do the work each day. We reap the fields with combines. We bale the new mown hay. So I thought that was a lovely variation on that old hymn, actually. But again, church was packed, people standing at the back, a lovely, lovely tribute. And poor old Stevie was just a few years older than me. And, well, to all the funerals we've done this week, you know, we just say rest in peace. Or as we say here in Cornwall, Coscan Cres. Now, before I do go on to the podcast, I did want to mention, you would have seen it on our RJ Bray Facebook and website, a true Bridger passed away this week. Now, I would say, unless you moved into the town recently, you might not know him, but people that have lived in the town for a while, everybody knew this chap. Everybody knew him. But not a lot of people, I don't think, knew his name or his full name. His surname was Thompson, so some people would have known that, but I don't think that many people would have actually realised that his first name was Brian, because to everyone, he was known as Tiger. So Tiger Thompson, I mean, I can remember him for decades. He worked in the cinema here in Wadebridge. And I remember I was pretty pally with Sarah Blasdell at the time. Going back now, I think we was out sixth form at the time. And I remember she said to me one night, I think she lived up Pennard Way. And she said, oh, do you want to come with me tonight? I'm doing a bit of babysitting for Tiger's maid, which I think was Tracy. So, but I've known Tiger forever. Real character, very well liked in the town. And as you can see on our announcements, he did sadly pass away. So we're thinking of you all. And like I said earlier, Tiger, Costa and Chris. Right, well, now we'll go over to the first part of my interview with Margaret Thompson. And Margaret is somebody that I've known all my life. I think she moved into Glen Road in 1962, which was the same year as my mother and father. And then their boy Sean was born in 63 and I was born in 64. And dear, she's still there in Glen Road now after all these years. And it was, lovely going back. I don't go up Glen Road much at all these days. So it was lovely to go up. It brought back so much memories. You could just feel them like coming out of the brickwork. I still look because I'm thinking that sometime surely they're going to put one of those blue round signs on the house there where I was born to say David Bray was born here. But they haven't got it up yet. But how different it is. I think it'll be in next week's. We talk about how Glen Road have changed. Like when I was born, or growing up rather, we had Mr. Meeks' car opposite and Mr. Pedlar's up the road. Well, apart from that, there was hardly any cars in Wadebridge at all. In Glen Road at all. Well, now, 'tis just heaving. The cars all the way up. And of course, cars are bigger than they used to be. They're wider, the gaps are narrow. But anyway, that's enough of me going on. So, what I'm going to do, we'll go over now to me chat with Margaret, and then I'll speak to you directly with me Cornish words of the week and a bit of me dialect. So, here it is. Get on, Margaret. How be knacking?
I'm fine, Dave. How are you? Looking good? You're looking good.
Struggling on.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly. So I think we'll go right back to the start, if you like, if that's all right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was born at Wellington Place, number 5, to Bert and Hilda Allen. So Mum was from Camelford and Dad was one of 11.
Was he?
Yeah, in Wadebridge, the Allen family. Yeah.
What was Mum's maiden name then?
Baker. Well-known Camelford family. Truvai, actually. Just outside of Camelford. But my gran... she had his 11 children, but then my grandfather was one of 15.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they didn't all survive, of course. But
no.
Out of Gran's 11, she only lost one in infancy. Yeah. And apart from those, so the 10, she brought up 3 others.
Did she?
Yeah. Her niece, his daughter, and then she was fostering twins.
Right.
And the mother came and said she was going away, but she'd settle up with Gran when she came back for fostering the twin boys. And she never came back.
Oh, no.
So Gran kept them.
Oh,
I mean, in those days, I suppose. Yeah, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that happening today, can't you?
No, exactly.
Oh, dear. Yes, and they were really brought up as their brothers and sisters, you know. So yes, it was good, really. That one. But I was born at Wellington Place.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic upbringing up there.
Yeah.
It was like having 30-odd brothers and sisters, really.
Yeah.
And they did, because it was just on the war, like 38 I was born, 39 the war started.
Yeah.
But we just did everything together. That's the way that was in those days. And we used to all go into carnival together. Wonderful wonderful times. We have an outing. The first Saturday in July every year. We'd sometimes have 2 buses
Right.
from Hawkeys, and we'd go right off somewhere. And we went to Plymouth pantomime every year, every Christmas. And, lots of kids in Wadebridge never went to Plymouth.
No.
We went, there's this little group from the council estate, and we were off to Plymouth, to the pantomime. Brilliant. And the carnival efforts, I mean, when you see the photographs. Well, we went in as tulip time.
Right.
And the mothers made all these tulips, which out of crepe paper, which they dipped in wax, so that if it rained, they wouldn't.
Brilliant.
And then they would last for St. Column Carnival as well, you see. So, I mean, that was and the costumes they made for us were amazing. And there was, and at tulip time, they made this enormous windmill.
Right.
And we had to have somebody on the lorry with a pole or a clothes prop thing to lift the bunting up as we went up the street because it was so high. It was
Get
huge.
away.
Yeah. And one of the men was a sign writer, or he worked over for Hawkeys, so it couldn't have been, he was a painter anyway.
Yeah.
So we had these wonderful signs. It was super,
Yeah.
Yeah, we went every year. And we'd go across to St. Column as well. We were very, very lucky. And we have a New Year's Eve party at the British Legion Hall.
Right.
Every year. And everybody had a present. All the kids, we all had presents. There was always plenty of food. I don't know how they did it, really.
No.
Because Wellington Place, right there by the side of the drill hall.
Oh, yes,
so we'd have Saturday nights, all Saturday nights. If there wasn't a dance on up at the drill hall, we'd have a social evening and we'd all play games and just very, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
We had our own Hawkeys bus to go to Polzeth on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go downtown and queue up. The bus came to us.
To you.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, very good. We enjoyed it.
Was you an only child then?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what did father do for a living then?
Well, he worked at the foundry for when I was small.
Yeah.
And then he went to work for Tremaine and Collicutt's delivering.
Yeah.
So I used to go for a ride sometimes out around Polzeth. He would never believe it today.
No. Yeah, you wouldn't be
He wouldn't recognise the place.
No.
Not at all. And then that was a nice little crowd too, down at Tremaine and Collicutt's. They'd have a party and staff party. I got photographs, things like that. Yes.
Lovely community, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's good, isn't it? That we got these happy memories and there wasn't very much doing really.
No.
Dances and things like that for the older ones, but for the little ones. And of course it was a long way to the playing fields in those days.
Long old hill, wasn't
it? And the funny thing about it was, it'd take us ages to get to the playing fields, but if Mother and Mrs. Wallen wanted us home, we could hear them shouting from up the top there. They could shout loudly enough for us to hear over the playing fields. And then we'd take like half and 3/4 an hour to get home.
Yeah. So number 5 then, is that like going up the hill, the ones on the right-hand side?
Yeah, on the terrace.
Yes.
Because the other part of Wellington Place weren't built then. You see, they weren't built until about 49, I think it was, after the war anyway. Yeah.
And why was it Wellington Place?
Well, I think that there was a gentleman on the council called Mr. Wellington.
Right.
I think he might have been the chairman of the council. And I think it was
named
after him. It's like Cleveland's and Clevewell and all that. I think that land belonged to Captain Cleve, who had Trevanson House.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes, and they did that, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like Franklin Close after Miss Franklin.
Yeah.
Because I loved working at school.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I did 14 years at the old girls and infant school. And I left for 10 years, but no job gave me satisfaction like that.
No.
So I was delighted when I could go back and did another 10 years then as a teaching assistant. Yeah.
Well, you're jumping ahead a bit. We'll do that in a minute.
All right. This is my way. Although, usually I live in the past.
Oh, lovely. So who was your neighbours then at Wellington Place?
Well, I can do the whole...
Yeah, go for it.
No. There were 18 houses in the terrace.
Right.
And there was a bungalow opposite. So they formed what they called the 19 Club.
Oh,
which
right.
was like 18.
Yeah.
And the bungalow had a garage. Well, during the war, it was used as accommodation for the ladies that lived there, her daughter and her family. So when they had a prefab after the war, and we used that as a clubhouse.
All right.
So they'd have a whist drive on a Saturday night, and they had a darts team, and for the older ones, it was good up there. There was 6 houses in each block.
All right. Yeah.
So there was the first house was the Richards, Kevin and Robin.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then there were people called Favour. Then there was Betty Irons and Harold Irons, and they had 2 sons. And then there was the Hamptons. Then it was us, and then it was Jim and Nell Triglone.
Right.
Well, Jim worked for the egg packing station as a driver. Yeah. Then there's Stevens and Dykes.
Yeah.
So that was, Jeff and John and Janet and Andrew. The Parkins, that would be Terry Parkin.
Oh, yeah.
And his 3 sisters, Sally and Sheila and Joyce. And then the Spawns. And the Harrises, Phil Harris.
Yeah.
And then their granny.
Right.
Because the Spawns and the Harrises, they were related. The 3 sisters.
Right.
The mums were sisters. And then Granny Lightfoot. Old Squire Lightfoot. He was a wonderful old man.
I heard of him, yeah.
Oh, he was wonderful.
Right.
He used to work for the council. And he knew every drain and he always built up the swan's nest, and he was an amazing character. Yeah. Then there was the Browns, Greta and Celia, Jim Bunny, and the Hardins, and Mr. and Mrs. Williams. That was Betty Camps.
Oh, right.
Her parents.
Oh.
Then the Hollands, Anne and Dudley.
Yeah.
And then their granny, Mrs. Hicks.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah. And then the people across the road, she was called Salmon, Mrs. Salmon, and her grandson lived with her. And he was called John Stevens, so that meant we had 2 John Stevens.
Oh, God.
Big John, Little John. Oh, dear. Those were the days. Yeah.
So when did he start school then? 4 or?
No, that was a story in itself. I was 5 in October, and my best friend Anne Holland was 5 in November. So in September, our mothers got us all ready and sent us off with the big girls, because your mum didn't take you in those days.
No, right.
You went with the big girls. We got to school, and they said we were too young. We'd have to come back at Christmas.
Oh, no.
And they sent us home on our own.
No.
So these 2 little 4-year-old girls were sent. Can you imagine today? They just sent us home. And there was no pavements on the bridge back then.
Oh, heck.
It was just
a little
narrow. Yeah. When we got home, they said, "Oh, what happened to you?" "Oh, well, they didn't want us to. We can't go till Christmas." All right. So that was just, nobody said they shouldn't have done that, should they, really? No. But there you go. That's how times change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Miss Parsons was...
Yes, I remember Miss
Parsons, yeah. Miss Hawcombe was there. But when we went into the juniors, Miss Williams, that's David Williams' auntie.
All right.
From cinema,
Yeah.
His auntie was our teacher. But every year when we went up, she came up with us.
Oh,
so
right.
all through the juniors, I only ever had had one teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to grammar school.
Would that be in Bodmin?
On the train.
On the train.
Catch
yeah.
the train every day, yeah. And then when I finished there, I went to work for Collins and Russell, accountants. I don't know why, because my maths was hopeless, but I soon caught on. You had to really, didn't you? And I worked there for a while. I used to do, I don't know how many hours it was now, but it was 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 till 12 Saturday.
Yeah.
So if you can work out, I don't know how many hours a week, for $150.
Get away.
The week, not the hour, 50. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't last me very long, because I had to give 50p to mother,
Yeah.
50p to save, and 50p for myself.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
couldn't do anything with that.
Where was their premises to?
That over Eastman's the Butchers. Right. So that's the estate agents now.
Oh, they're on the corner opposite where Lang's Chip Shop and the Flower Shop. I get it.
That's right. And funnily enough, I went to work for Kitto's some years later in that 10-year lapse. So I was working there for a couple of years. Anyway, I went in the cinema one night and they wanted somebody to help with the sweets. Right. So I went there and worked as well. And then Mrs. Claridge was the boss's wife. Right. She was selling the tickets. She was the cashier, and I was selling sweets. And then when she stopped, I took over the cashier's job, and Eve came to work selling the sweets. We used to quite enjoy it, really. Yeah. It was busy in those days. Buses used to come in regularly from all the outlying villages to come to the pictures. Yeah. It's
all changed now, because the trouble is these days you can get a film on telly in a fortnight, can they, after it's been released? Or...
Although we're very lucky here, David and his boys, they do keep a good cinema there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're very lucky. We get the films almost before they're released, don't we? Yeah. Really good. Yeah. But Mr. Claridge was good when I worked for him. And of course Tony worked as a projectionist.
Oh, did he really?
Yes. So I got together with him. Yeah, so very different in those days, though. Yeah. You knew everybody. Yeah. Funnily enough, I was in the Betjeman Centre the other day, and as I walked around, a bloke said, "Here, 2 2-7s, please." I said, "Well, I can't have altered that much, but the fact that you've remembered me and remembered the price of your tickets." 2-7s. Oh. It was if you sat in the front, it was only 1 3. All right. And if you sat like halfway back, because there was only one screen then. Yeah. Yeah. If you sat like in the lower side of that aisle that goes across, it was 1 10. Then it was the 2-7s, and the back most expensive seats in the place were 3 2.
Were they really?
Yeah. God. Can you imagine it?
Yeah. So I take, because back when I used to go cinema when I was young, it was 2 films. What would the same back then?
Yeah. You used to have a small, like a short film, and perhaps even a cartoon as well. Right. And then you'd have a newsreel. Right. And then you'd have the main feature. Yeah. So you got your money's worth. Yeah, definitely. Even if it was only 3 2. Yeah, exactly. Strange prices, really. I don't know why they were those odd. No. You'd have thought they'd have rounded it up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Don't know. Never queried that.
No. So then after there, where did he go then?
Then I got married then.
Ah, yeah. And did you move Glen Road then, did he, when you got married? Or?
Not first of all. I had a flat for a few weeks on Eglesale, and then we went up to live at Gonvina House. Ah, right. There was in the flats at the back. Yeah. Well, our flat was at the back, but there were Mrs. Owen was up there then. Tegwin and John, and she was Barbara Mabley before. Vertel. Oh, yeah. The Vertels lived at the top as well.
Yeah, did they?
We used to ride up Gonvina Hill with Mr. Claridge when he was going back to Rock in a Rolls Royce sometimes.
Get away.
Yeah, we'd come out, get in the car and drive up the hill. You had to have to smile when you think back, don't you, really? Yeah. But Tony always had a motorbike, really. Yeah. We went to the TT races.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah. And I slept half the way home I couldn't have fallen off the pillion because it was so, everything was piled up behind me. And he was in front of me, of course.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have fallen off. To tell you one thing I was thinking about, I went on the Jubilee Queen last week.
Right.
And we came up the rivers.
Yeah.
Lovely, isn't it? I just love it. And we came up past Roskier.
Yes.
That my very first memory as a child is being pushed in the pushchair up on the railway line, because on Sundays they didn't run trains to Padstow. Well, there were no trains. As I said, my dad was one of 11. Well, their beach was down Roskier.
Yeah.
You see. So even all those years later, after they'd grown up, we still went river on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And because there was a pathway to Pulgemon.
Yeah.
But you couldn't go any further during the week.
No.
But Sunday,
yeah.
You could, yeah. And they used to take all their food and light a fire, and we just had lovely times.
Yeah.
And of course, again, 11 children, loads of cousins.
I was going to say that.
Such a big family, really.
So did they mostly stay in Wadebridge then? Or no?
They did for a while.
Yeah.
But now it's only Barry Allen and his sister who lives at St Izzy.
Yeah.
And me. And I think we're the only ones left out of us.
Really?
Oh. I mean, there's still others away.
Yeah.
But as far as living in the town is concerned, it's really only Barry and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, there was June Eddie and Brendan and Jack and Stan.
Yeah.
We were all related and all got on very well, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad to think that they aren't here now.
Well, thank you, Margaret. That was proper. And we will have more from Margaret next week. Now, I thought for me, Cornish word of the week, like I said, was influenced or inspired is the word, inspired by Llanivet toilets. Now, you don't get that very often. We had a funeral at Llanivet this week, or shall I say over Llanivet, in Llanivet. Would I say? We're going over Llanivet. And, of course, a couple of my bearers, they get into that certain age now that they need to go to the toilet. So I ain't going to say who they was. I don't want to embarrass them. But Terry and Fred went down to the toilets. Well, they came back and they was tickled pink because on the toilets there, the signs where you have men and ladies, they got it in Cornish. So Terry said, that can be your word for the week. So I said, yeah, we'll go for that, Terry. So you can have a bonus because you can have 2 words this week. So for men, 'tis guer, and women, 'tis bananas. So that's men and women. So there we go. We got wet as well. Llanivet, it was raining quite hard. We got wet that day. And for me Cornish dialect of the week, now this has got nothing to do with they pair or, drinking lots of alcohol or anything. But if somebody is pretty greedy with their drinking, the word for that is gaddle. Gaddle. If they drinking greedily. So that's me dialect for the week. Right, well, I think that's all for now. I'm going to perhaps whip out for a quick walk now. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a good week. I'll speak to you next week. Wish you well. Duke Ennis. Kerno Bisvican.